Jordan here. Reprogramming our nervous system when we don't feel safe in the world. This is something I wasn't even aware of until I was 28 years old. One of my friends suggested I work with a meditation teacher in Denver. She's very aware and awake being, and she could see I needed some help in that area. I was coping with jiu-jitsu and cannabis and always staying busy, always working out, always working, constantly do. So she suggested I go see this meditation teacher, and during the weekend workshop I did with her, she was explaining how our nervous system has different states of being. We can be in fight or flight, we can be in freeze, we can be in fawn, all these different levels, or we can be balanced, we can be at homeostasis. And it kind of hit me like a pile of bricks. Oh, I've been in fight or flight mode my whole life. I've been dysregulated. Call it a sympathetic state. And we can all get caught either in too much parasympathetic or sympathetic. You can get caught in fight or flight, get caught in freeze, fawn, all these different states. And she was explaining how some people, like herself, meditation actually dysregulated her system, and so she needed to do something like humming, movement, shaking, something to breath work, something that can elevate her state out of it. And for me, when I guess it starts when I was a kid, my parents would tell me, my dad was a federal drug agent, and so he would tell me there's people out there that he's arrested that might want to kidnap me and kill me, and there's a lot of danger outside in the world. Our number wasn't in the phone book. I didn't know my home address. All these bizarre things to be aware of when I was a kid. And remember, on the highest level, we choose this. I was training for later coming to realization so I could share this and help other people. But when I was a kid, he'd come home with drugs and guns and cars and money from all these people he arrested, these dangerous criminals. In some cases they were murderers, and told me, yeah, be careful. So me being a little kid and being very sensitive to my environment and everything around me, it jacked me up. I was a little kid with a little knife hiding under my blankets at night trying to go to bed, just terrified someone's gonna break in and steal me. And so what happens is all of these imprints get set into your nervous system, and that becomes your state. It becomes what's comfortable for you. And in some instances it's healthy in the sense that, yeah, you need to be aware of your environment, and if your environment's dangerous, your life is full of danger, it helps to be on alert. The problem is we don't know how to lower that alertness, and our nervous system just holds all this energy, and we can't relax. And that can get passed on from your kids to their kids to their kids, just in your genetic memory. If you come from a warring part of the world, you're probably more likely to be in fight or flight, or freeze, or however you react. If you think of an antelope that gets chased by a lion, after they get chased, they typically will shake. If they get away, they're standing there, they're shaking. And what they're doing is they're getting all that nervous, scared energy out of their body. They're dumping it. And that's what we need to do ultimately. It doesn't have to be shaking. It can be meditation. It can be breath work. It can be contemplation. There's a bunch of different ways we can deal with our situation. And if we don't shake it out or become aware of it and get it out of our body, it just gets ingrained in our system. If you are always tense, if your muscles are always tense, you probably took some trauma and stored it in your body so that you could just keep going about your day. You didn't have time to deal with it. You didn't know that you had to deal with it. And that's the best solution that our body comes up with. We're complex creatures, these human bodies, and we have to move on and just handle life sometimes, and that can turn into decades. For me, it wasn't until I was 28 years old I realized, oh wow, I need to completely change my system to be able to function, to be able to feel all right just being in the world. So I guess a practical takeaway is first determine where you're at on the spectrum of, if you are constantly needing to do things. You could be a workaholic, you can be a workoutaholic, you can be addicted to just go, 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 go. You're probably in fight or flight mode, and you need to meditate, you need to go for a walk, you need to journal, you need to do slow breath exercises. You do the 4-6-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 6, exhale for 8, and just keep this slow, try and slow your breathing down as much as you can for 5 or 10 minutes. That'll change your whole day. And if you're in freeze mode, if you find yourself not wanting to do anything, if you're just constantly scrolling on social media, watching TV, you're my teacher, she gave an example. She would have seizures. Her body would seize up because she was in such a freeze mode. It was trying to stimulate some kind of energy. So if you're in freeze mode, then you need to shake. You can shake it out. Shake your whole body. You can chant Om. Om. I love to chant Om. It actually feels that activates my throat, and my heart feels alive and vibrant after that. You can also do breath work that energizes you, like Wim Hof style breathing, hyperventilation, and then breath holds that will get you out of freeze. And if you're in fawn, if you find yourself people pleasing, trying to make everyone happy around you, ignoring your own needs, then you need to set first internal boundaries, things that you will only allow, behaviors you will only allow, and then you need to set external boundaries that, hey, I don't appreciate when you treat me this way, and create space in your life. So when someone does ignore your boundaries, you have to leave them alone. You have to step away. You can still love them from a distance. Doesn't mean you have to hate them or think you're better than them. Still love them, but you're respecting your own life. You don't need to fit in with the crowd, fit in with whatever friend group you think you need to behave a certain way to get their approval. That's a deep one. I mean, that's on some level, on the collective level, that we're all have to go through that. And we probably all have to go through some kind of balancing, regulation. Just getting born into a human body creates a birth trauma. We go from being inside source to externalizing ourselves into a body, and that's traumatic. We are constantly seeking our source energy, which is why people discover spirituality and want to commune with God. And what is God, and what does that mean for me, and all these pathways that open up that are available, and you'll start resonating with people on the same path. And it takes a while. I mean, is it 6 years ago I was 28, and I still need a practice. It's a lot better than it was, I'll tell you that. The way my nervous system reacts and responds to life. But it takes a long time. This is like the life's work. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to constantly integrate and embody, and daily you'll see progress. Try and get 0.5% better every day. And then in a couple years, you're 100% in a different space. And that's how you have to look at it. It's not a quick fix. It is totally worth it, because then you can help anyone else that you come across in your life. You can become a gift to the world instead of a burden. If any of this resonates with you, I offer one-on-one consultation. Please reach out. Love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Much love.